Our next speaker owns an online training company in Chelsea, and she's creeped out by her daughter's new hobby. Let's have a big round of applause for Megan Torrance.
With any luck, there haven't been this many cockroaches in Blau in a long time. Let's start my journey. About 15 years ago, newly minted MBA, big consulting firm, and I had the career-limiting audacity to propose that I don't really want to work on that project in Houston. Why? They grow really big bugs down there. Without the killing frost, from year to year, the bugs get bigger and bigger. This is a Texas carpenter ant, comes in at 1 inch. I'm all for success, as long as it doesn't involve bugs. But if you want to talk about success, you really kind of have to talk about bugs. There are 200 million insects on the planet for every human being alive right now. Do the math? That's 10 quintillion. That's 1 and 19 zeros. So my journey, 4 years later, I'm on a project in Florida where they have big bugs, and I'm actually held hostage for 30 minutes atop my couch by a palmetto bug. Wikipedia said that's actually tourist economy speak for the American cockroach. Comes in at 4 centimeters, 3.4 miles an hour. Now, a lot of people right? Okay? I have a daughter. My daughter, and lots of daughters, loves butterflies. They're okay bugs. Butterflies, they're sweet, they're fluttery, they're colorful, little capricious flowers on the wind. With the exception, however, of the Malaysian vampire moth, where the male of the species uses its 2-part proboscis to dig its way into your flesh, where your own blood pressure raises these little hooks that kind of lock it in while it sucks your blood. But anyways, bugs are really cool, and kids are really cool, because kids let you see the world through their eyes. This is a praying mantis on our deck, and if you've ever seen one walk and do this, it's amazing they can catch anything. But they eat insects, other praying mantises, rodents, frogs, snakes. Just to be safe, I stayed way back. Now, my daughter is a very bright girl. She's not a butterfly for Halloween in 1st grade. She's the entire life cycle of a monarch, complete with a sack of eggs and a caterpillar. She informs me, no less, that this is not actually a monarch, it's a viceroy. I stand corrected. But the process of the butterfly life cycle, right? Remember this from school? It's amazing. It's like me taking a 2-week nap and waking up as a crocodile. This has happened in my kitchen. It's incredible. By the end of 1st grade, though, her infatuation with bugs starts getting a little creepy crawly. She's rolling over rocks, and what she finds underneath it are roly-poly bugs and porcellanids. Think little tiny armadillos, way too many legs. Love at first sight. Now, this is a kid who has a hard time paying attention to class, lots of sensation issues, lots of extreme volatility, and yet she'll spend hours rolling over rocks, holding them by the handful. They're crawling up her arms to get away. Love at first sight. She learns everything about them. She gives a 1-hour lecture to her 2nd grade class about roly-poly bugs and porcellanids, which are actually crustaceans, more like this guy than this guy that is found underneath the rock with him. They even have gills. These are the caterpillars of the sphinx moth, also known as the tomato hornworm. They will completely denude a tomato plant overnight. At our house, she rescues them, feeds them hand-picked leaves, gives them baths when necessary. We have tons of organic lettuce boxes full of all sorts of things. An actual monarch, caterpillars, crickets, grasshoppers. There is a millipede in our house on purpose that, if lucky, will grow to be about 4 inches. But remember this kid who has issues with attention and volatility and sensation? Okay, this sends us on a diagnostic journey. What's going on here? So the doctor comes in one day. He says, "Emily, how are you today?" And she replies, "Did you know that porcellanids are actually crustaceans? They have gills. The female of the species is almost like her. She lickets her eggs and she carries them around in her abdomen until they burst from the eggs and her abdomen all at once. Little babies." Now, I've heard this a million times in more depth, and we've got a lot of footage of this. But suddenly I'm seeing this through the doctor's eyes, and I'm realizing that the light that he sees this in is the same light that comes from the spectrum that Temple Grandin is on. And suddenly bugs are not just a passion, but bugs are a connection, a really calming sense of order, and a key to a diagnosis. So our journey takes us to the hands-on museum, where, I'm not kidding, we walk in a room, there is a tarantula bigger than my fist, a cockroach bigger than my cell phone, and the creepiest thing in the room is the question